What is happening, Magnusites? You know, I had heard that it was re-released and that it was killing it. And I wanted to go see it. Part of me wanted to go see it. You get what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it's still out, but maybe I will, because I was like, oh, I got it at home. You know, I can. But I was like, you know what? No. I might want to go see it because I just might want to go sit in the theater with a bunch of real Star Wars fans, people that aren't fans of the garbage that they've been handing us. Some people have just been accepting it like prisoners accepting slop in some third world country. It's all they got to eat, so they just accept it type of crap. You know what I mean? So I still might go see it. But let's hear what the drinker has to say about it.
Star Wars is dead. That's something you've probably heard many times over the past few years, and it's not hard to see why. The sequel trilogy started out strong, only to turn into an unmitigated disaster. There hasn't been a new movie in almost...
It turned into a big old piece of trash.
6 years, and practically every new show released on Disney Plus has either been a critical or commercial flop, or both. And like anyone hurtling towards their 50th birthday, Star Wars seems to be going through a bit of an identity crisis these days, desperately trying to reinvent itself into something newer and cooler, which leads to the very obvious question: what even is Star Wars now? Is it a feminist power fantasy? A lightweight adventure for little kids? A dark, gritty political thriller with sci-fi trappings? Or one person's thinly disguised sex?
All the above, sir.
In lightsabers and spaceships?
All under the umbrella of what the fans don't want.
Ips. Ha! I don't really know what Star Wars is meant to be now, but one thing it isn't is successful.
Damn right.
Andor, the latest addition to the Disney Plus lineup, cost $650 million in total and pulled in less than 2 million viewers in its first 3 days.
Wow.
Jesus, I've had videos that get more views in the same time frame.
Wow.
Not only is it not making
That's
money
true,
for
you
Disney,
have, sir.
but even worse than that, Star Wars has lost every shred of cultural relevance it
The drinker is doing better than Star Wars. Wow. Isn't also Star Wars Theory, is he almost bigger than the Star Wars channel? Or that's something to check out right now. Yeah. You damn right, Tyrone. Star Wars Theory. Yeah. 3.32 million. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
4.16. He keeps going. He may definitely overcome them. Boy.
once had. People just don't talk or even care about it anymore, and the only time they do mention it is when some big controversy erupts. Take Andor, for example. The only discourse of any kind around that show is because of a 2-minute scene where an Imperial officer tries to use the Force on a young woman. The Acolyte was talked about, but for all the wrong reasons, to the point where Disney themselves had to step in and confirm that never again would they inflict another series of that absolute catastrophe on us. Meanwhile, Skeleton Crew, which was pretty much free of controversies, was also more forgettable than a cheese sandwich and disappeared like a fart in the winds.
Yeah, I only did the first 2 episodes and I was just like, no.
I actually had to look it up to confirm that yes, it did indeed exist, and I watched it, and it cost $130 million to make. It wasn't always like this, you know. Ask any random person on the street who Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, or Han Solo is, and I'm pretty sure they'll be able to tell you, even if they've never even watched the Star Wars movie before. Ask that same person who Poe Dameron, Finn, the Mandalorian, or Cassian Andor is, and you'll likely be met with the kind of vacant, dead-eyed stare that would make Billie Eilish look like a model of bright, optimistic intellect.
Yeah, your best bet is to say the Mandalorian or Baby Yoda, and you're gonna get somebody that knows, and most likely they're gonna answer the Baby Yoda.
With a string of commercial failures like this and a total collapse in cultural relevance, you can't exactly blame people for concluding that yes, Star Wars as a brand is indeed dead. But then something kind of strange happened. Revenge of the Sith was re-released into cinemas to mark the 20th anniversary of the film's premiere, which itself is nothing particularly unusual. Lucasfilm has a long history of re-releasing older Star Wars movies to mark important anniversaries. It's a nice way to revisit old classics, and for younger fans, it's a chance to experience Star Wars as it was meant to be seen, on the biggest of big screens. But this one was different. Revenge of the Sith raked in more than $42 million worldwide in its first weekend, rocketing up the box office charts like it was some commercially viable new release instead of a novelty trip down memory lane for hardcore fans only.
I know Disney was like, oh boy. Like they're gonna get us for this. This is outperforming our own stuff. The fans are reinvigorated and realize just how bad Disney's Star Wars is.
It would be like some old heavyweight boxer coming out of a 20-year retirement and still being able to kick ass against top-level contenders. And let's not kid ourselves here, this is not some cinematic classic we're talking about. Revenge of the Sith was the deeply flawed conclusion to a not particularly good trilogy, and the audience perception of it has gone through more twists than a David Fincher movie over the years. At first everyone loved it because they were hyped by the Star Wars legacy and the pretty visuals, but then came the YouTube video essay era where it became fashionable to make hour-long videos shitting all over the prequels, and now that we're trapped in the festering swamp of the Disney era...
Hey, and let me tell you, Red Letter Media, they are comic geniuses. I, as a fan, as a whole, liked the prequels, okay? I have them, and I watch them from time to time. And they destroyed them. However, I can still accept someone else's opinion. They didn't. As a matter of fact, they are how I found out that people did not like Star Wars, the Star Wars prequels. I never knew. Once I jumped on YouTube, though, I found out that there was a portion of the fan base, and I don't know if it's more than half or not. I would like to know what that is. That don't like it, that bothered George online, harassed him online. George, you destroyed my childhood. All this. I was like, what? What do you mean destroyed your childhood? He helped make my childhood. What are you talking about? Like, and I remember I took my mom to see not Revenge of the Sith, episode 1, because it was the thing that the family would go to see the Star Wars movies. And the first one I went to see with the family was Return of the Jedi. Went to the movies to see that. I remember that. And so it was like, it was like almost like an anniversary thing. It was fun. Me and my mom took care of her, got her whatever she wanted, and we watched the movie and she enjoyed herself. You know what I'm saying? So Star Wars means a lot to me. It has a deep nostalgic feeling to me as a fan, family-wise and everything. So, but I can still watch someone else's opinion and be fine with it. If they hate it, they hate it. But I like them. You know what I'm saying?
Era, the rose-tinted glasses are coming out and people are starting to look back more favourably on the prequel trilogy. It's all relativism and it's all coloured by what happens to be going on at the current time.
Right.
But all of this is to say that Revenge of the Sith wasn't and still isn't a particularly great Star Wars movie, but people flock to see it anyway. Why? Because it's the last movie to come out that was still unquestionably Star Wars. Flawed it might have been, but it still embodied the core elements of what Star Wars was supposed to be about. The epic adventure, the hero's journey, the struggle between good and evil, the family melodrama, and the love story at its core.
Lightsaber duels, starfighters, all that.
Simple stuff, but sometimes the simplest ideas are also the most timeless. On the other hand, the most timely and current day of ideas are likely to become the most divisive and dated. If Disney are looking for an answer to the ongoing question of what Star Wars is supposed to be, well, there it is. This right here is what people want, for better or worse. Star Wars apparently isn't quite as dead as we all thought, and fans do still want more of it. The only problem is, they just don't want your version of it. Maybe that is something you should think about very, very carefully. Oh yeah, and just a heads up that we're down to the last few days on our Kickstarter.
He's absolutely correct, right?
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
And make sure you contribute to the Drinkers Kickstarter. Nigga. So, yeah, Disney, let that be a lesson to you.
The first time that I'd ever...
What the hell? I've always been nice to you, Disney. Always been nice to you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the nice fans. You know, I'm just asking you to get your ish together. You know, others wish for your downfall. They hope the company folds. They hope a bunch of people get fired. They hope that you crumble into dust and are never able to return. I don't wish none of that on you. I just want you to start doing right by us. See how nice I am? See? I don't lead brigades against you. I don't tell people to boycott you. You know what I'm saying? I do talk with my wallet, though. There are some things from you I will pay for and some things that I won't. It is what it is, okay? I will not go to and pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for a week at Disney. Hell no! But with the pricing that I get for movie tickets, 53 cents, I'll go see a Disney movie to review it for business. Yes, that's fine. But yeah, you guys got to get it together because this is horrible. Like, you are destroying these IPs and you do not seem to care at all. My God. Post your comments down below. Let me know what y'all think. If you enjoyed my thoughts on the Drinkers' thoughts and my reaction to the Drinkers' thoughts, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And subscribe to the Drink Air. That rhymed to play the game. Bars! 10 million subscribers. Woo!